I was intrigued by the concept of this game. It is about robotic ant creatures. Yes, it might be very similar to those with regular ants, but this is about microscopic robot ants, which is kind of unique idea to play around. So, in demo, gameplay starts with placing the main unit, the beating heart of colony, the queen. So, at start, I didn't know that I should place near the flowers, because those have resources queen need to eat to be able to generate population. So this is kind of was missing from the demo. But nevertheless, it can be adjusted later as every building can be relocated. So at start there are 4 immortal ants, and yes, you heard me correctly, immortal. Because all other ants will have limited time and player had to build production chain correctly to support stable population. The main resource here is scrap metal and it can be harvested by allocating ants to it. The main strategy here is to make paths where those ants must move, so here it is from scrap pile to stockpile and then back to it and so on. Using this approach, everything player do in this game is done with the paths mechanic, and here can play around quite a lot. There are logical intersections to divide the ants evenly or to keep the same number of ants in particular path section, etc. Then about research tree. It is just extensive, really a lot of things to do research, but in demo there was only a few things, the rest was locked. So to research something player need research points, and to get those he need to combine ants to get the special ant just for that. That ant must be fed with the food resource, and when it is ready, it explodes and player receives research points. By the way, I like that those dead ants are left for a while on the map, so that gave more realistic feeling. The research tree actually are quite extensive also. The first thing is that there are 3 main resource groups: raw, processed and goods. Raw are harvested resources, processed are, as example, smelted iron, and goods are things made from that iron block or any other processed resource. And then just to mention, there are more resource options, like to actually mine them, as in some locations player can't harvest those easy way. And there are also additional resources like copper, glass, and probably could be even more, as this is only a demo. The last thing to mention, there are additional places to explore. Different islands with separate resources. To access those, player must build flying ants, and with those resources can be harvested on those islands. One thing to mention, on those separate islands, resources are not shared. So that means to build something, player must harvest those locally. So that makes game interesting, as there is a barrier which limits the ability to rapidly expand. One thing to mention, those flying ants have limited lifespan also, and are quite expensive to make, so for me a question arises: can I make a self-sustainable population on this island also? Conclusion. Great game, interesting concept, a lot of content, huge research tree, many buildings, many resources. So I think a great game for those who love real-time strategy games.